For more on what we can expect, we're joined by RNC spokesman Tommy Pigott. It's good to see you, sir. So we have CNN and ABC News, noted left-wing biased and unfair networks. If President Trump agrees to Joe Biden's demands for leftist networks, will the RNC at least insist that a right-leaning network host at least one debate, or at least insist on conservative moderators being allowed to ask some questions?
Look, fighting for fair debates has been a central tenet of the RNC for years, and we're going to continue that fight for fair debates. Ultimately, what we're seeing with Joe Biden is that, like you mentioned, he's only agreeing to 2 instead of the normal 3 debates. We believe there should even be more than that because he's afraid of debates. We're dealing with a president right now, and Joe Biden, who's afraid to answer questions. So our call here at the RNC, the Trump campaign, has been anywhere, anytime, any place, because we believe Americans deserve to see that debate. So we're going to keep fighting for fair debates, but we need to make sure those debates happen as well. Like I said, anywhere, anytime, any place, because we believe President Trump will wipe the floor with Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't stand a chance.
Well, Tommy, just so that everybody here watching on Newsmax knows, is it possible that we're going to watch 2 debates between these candidates and only left-wing or left-leaning moderators will be allowed? No conservative voices will be represented inside of these debates. Is that possibly going to play out in this election cycle?
Well, look, like I said, fighting for fair debates has been a central tenet of what we're doing here, what we have been doing for years. We're going to keep up that fight. Hopefully, we're going to have even more debates. President Trump announced that he's accepted a debate at Fox News, for example. Now the ball's in Joe Biden's court on that one. So we're going to keep on fighting for more debates. We're going to be fighting for conservative voices. We're going to be fighting for fair debates. But even if it is 2 versus 1, 2 Democrats versus President Trump, we're confident President Trump will win those debates because Joe Biden's record is an absolute failure. Joe Biden can't even read from a teleprompter. He can't even go to a Wawa in a staged event and close a takeout box without embarrassing himself. President Trump has a strong record, a record that Americans support. Biden has a record of weakness and chaos. That record's going to come through in that debate, but we're fighting for fair debates. We're fighting for more debates, but President Trump is willing to debate anytime, anywhere, anyplace.
Well, I hope the RNC makes a stand finally, because as you know, Tommy, the Commission on Presidential Debates is patently unfair. It's left-wing, it's slanted. And you know what? I think the Democrats deserve tough questions. But you know what? They get to, and the RNC has agreed up until this point, no. Every Democrat gets to get patted on the bum and not take any tough questions. I hope this new RNC abandons that premise, because I think Americans are sick and tired of having the press run cover for the Democrat Party. Meantime, Trump has also hinted that both candidates submit to a drug test before this debate. Is the RNC going to at least insist on that?
Look, these conditions are going to be set ahead of the debate. We're fighting again for that fair debate. We do believe Americans deserve transparency. Joe Biden's health has been a major factor in terms of non-transparency. We've seen him hiding from physicals. We've seen him hiding the results of those. And we've seen him not take a cognitive test, even though the majority of Americans, including Democrats, have major questions about that. Americans deserve transparency. They deserve to know what's happening. They deserve to see Joe Biden stand up there and defend his record if he's able to. We don't think that he is able to. So I think transparency should be a guiding principle here, and we're going to be fighting for those fair conditions ahead of these debates to make sure that Americans see the debates that they deserve to see so they can make that decision, comparing, again, Biden's weakness and chaos versus President Trump's record of strength and accomplishment.
Well, at the very least, Americans will be secured when they watch another Democrat hide behind the skirts of the biased press. At least we'll all see it. Finally, Tommy, the RNC just parted ways with Chief Counsel Charles Spies after less than 2 months on the job. Conservatives were critical about his position on election integrity. Can voters trust the RNC is going to be on top of voting integrity issues ahead of November's election?
Look, election integrity is a massive focus here. We have launched with the Trump campaign an unprecedented 100,000-person strong election integrity program. We are engaged in lawsuits across the country, including delivering key victories already in key battleground states. We're going to continue that effort. We have a full-time staff here. We have staff across the country in 15 battleground states, including for the House and Senate, not just the presidential. Election integrity is a major focus, one of the 3 fundamental priorities that the RNC has right now, the other 2 being raising money and getting out the vote, growing that vote, encouraging Americans to bank the vote. So we have that unprecedented election integrity program. We're going to have eyes on the ground, and voters can cast their vote with confidence with that program.
RNC's Tommy Pigott. Thank you. Appreciate the